Hello, welcome to this Minecraft education tutorial. In this tutorial we're going to look at some of the useful blocks within Minecraft education for you to use in your lessons to make the lesson run more smoothly, as well as restrict children's movements so the pupils do not destroy each other's work, as well as are kept in an isolated area so they can build their own thing. The first block we're going to look at is the border block. As you can see, I've got it in my hand here. It's at the bottom of the building blocks tab, so you can just drag this down. It's right at the bottom here. So what we need to do is drag that obviously into your bar there. Oh, dropped it. And this is what it looks like. It is basically a red wall that you cannot jump over if you're just a normal person, as well as go around. So you can walk around it. The student cannot fly through this, but a teacher can. So in this case I'm a teacher, so I can just fly straight over. So this allows me to travel into the student's area and have a look at their work to make sure they're staying on task, and then I can just fly away without them following me. So if you're a student, so I'll quickly change everything to student. So ability, my name, world builder, false. So now I'm a student. So in this case I'm a student, I'm building my work, and then I want to fly out the area, so I hit the wall, but it's an invisible wall, so I cannot fly out the area. I can also not destroy the blocks above it or below this wall, so it doesn't allow me to. So I cannot fly through this wall, it's an invisible wall. So in this area you'd build like a little area out of these blocks for them to build their work in, and then they cannot fly out of these areas, they are trapped within this area. So I'll quickly change myself back to a teacher. My name, world builder, true. So now I'm a teacher again. That's also useful, that command, so you can test whether your world is proof. So I can just fly straight in. So I could just fly straight into a kid's work and see if how they're doing, see if they're staying on task. So on this next bit you have this is an allow block. So this allows students to build on top of this area. These brown blocks allow the kids to work. So if you've got an area, these are deny blocks, which are over here as well. So this is deny, so this doesn't allow a student to build on top of here, but does allow a student to build on top of these ones. So you could build a surface out of these blocks, the deny blocks, and add allow blocks within them, so the students can build their own work with an area. But I prefer the method of using the borders around an area and let them just build within the grass area, because they can try to dig under the wall, but they won't be able to get underneath it because that invisible wall will stop them. So this will allow the student to build on this area here. So if I quickly show you, I need to go back to a student. So yeah, so I'm now a student, so if I quickly get a block, so let's get some blocks. I cannot build on there, but I can build on here. That allows me to build my structure within this area. So I can still walk on these blocks and everything, but I cannot build on them. So it doesn't let me. So that's quite useful depending on what you're trying to do. So if you want to give them a certain area where you say, oh, build this structure in this grid, then that will allow them to build. So I can build here, I can build up and up and up, but I also can't, I just can't build out. This area acts as a thing. So those blocks are quite useful for help. So also as a student I cannot destroy these blocks. This is just only people with world builder ability can obviously use these blocks, as it says, same as over here, so I cannot place these. So this is useful for building sort of a holding pen at the start of your lesson. So all the students will spawn in onto this block, and they're surrounded in a room with those boards over there, like I did at the start. So these boards are with the lesson description and what their objectives are to do. So you can just put them into the server and tell them to read the boards. So you just got minimal input, and it's up to them to build their own, to carry on as themselves and build what they need to build. The next thing I'll show you is the journal. So I've tried to do portfolio. So this portfolio allows the student to record what they've done using the camera. So this is the camera, so I got a backdrop of one of the pictures. So I quickly just right click. Let's get rid of this sheep. Go away. So right click on the camera faces towards me and then takes a picture of me. So there we go, just quickly saw that picture, and then I can go back to this. So if I just took one earlier, this is the one I just took, and you can type underneath here. So my photo, and you can write a little description under these boxes, and it acts as a book for the student. So this is one I took earlier, and this is the one I've just taken. You can also delete these pictures, and that takes it back. So we can basically make a storybook of your world. So if you say there could be a map where you follow a storyline, and the student uses the camera to take pictures of them as they go through the storyline and type up what they're doing, or write the story themselves. So they could do a story and then write up a story about what they've done. You can also export the portfolio onto your system and print it off as well. So you can also put those up in the classroom, do what you want with them. So that is a useful tool for story writing. It's quite a literacy-based work. Now finally, we've got these boards. You've got a large board, a medium board, and a small board. So you've got them here. So you've got the board, you've got a slate, and a poster. So basically, you just take. I'll use the big board because that's. So you just take those. So these are obviously in this. I'm pressing E on the keyboard. Bring this up, and you can just drag them down. And I'm pretty sure it was here. Yeah, there they are. So you've got a board, a poster, and a slate. So here you've got this board. So if I can just paste this here onto the floor, but I'm not. You also need to be a teacher. So obviously I'm not a teacher at this moment, so I cannot do anything with this board. So if you've got World Builder ability, which you should do as soon as you log in if you're a teacher, this gives you the ability to build certain blocks in the world. So certain things such as the description boards, as well as the borders, anything to do with the way the lesson is set out. While decorative blocks such as just bricks, dirt, any others are used by the student and can be used by the student without the need for World Builder ability. So any of these blocks, any of the decorative blocks, but it's just these sort of allowed now admin blocks that you need to use. So things like the boards, things like that. So now I've got World Builder, I can now place this board, and this gives me a big surface to write my lesson plan. So just put a hello, and this gives you a certain amount. Obviously if you press enter, that will click OK, so you need to sort of type to the end, and that will bring you down. You can also paste things into this, not pictures mind you, but you can type up a Word document of what you want them to do, then you can paste it straight into here. So if you've got a presentation that you've used before, but then you want to put this presentation into Minecraft for them, you can copy and paste the words into here. Just obviously Control C, Control V, or if you use the Mac, it's Command C, Command V. So then just click OK, and that comes up there. Finally, the last thing I want to show you is a NPC, which is a non-playable character. So these are within the sword one, and you drag that down. It's the rainbow coloured one, spawn NPC. So these work quite similar to the boards where you can type in, but they're a little bit more useful because it obviously gives a face for the student to see. So you've got the name of the NPC, so I'll just call that one Bob. And you've got your text, so you can type in hello. But this adds an extra feature, so obviously you can change what your person looks like. So if I just go for that person, but you've also got this, which is learn more. So this is you've got a tab here, so you can type in a web address. So www.youtube.co.uk. So if I hello and then use the link to build your world. So if I was a student, so I'll quickly change this ability, Sam C World Builder false. So I'm now a student again. So I'll be coming up, so I've just spawned in, I see a person called Bob, I go up to him and I right click on him and it gives it, hello, use a link to build your world. So I click learn more. This should tab me out and tab me into this screen straight to YouTube's homepage. And obviously I can get back by closing this down and opening the world back up. So that took me straight back to the Learn More page. So these are really useful. So if you've got a world where you've set out a story and you want them to do a certain thing, so say there's someone whose house has been knocked down in a storm and you want them to build a replica of this house, you can find Minecraft blueprints online, like a Google image, get the URL link and paste it into this person. So you'll say, my house has been knocked down in the wind, please can you build an exact replica of this house, here's the plans, and you click Learn More and that will bring up the plans and they can use those plans to replicate a building. So that's a really useful feature to have within, and obviously it follows you when you're looking around as well, and it just acts as a more interactive person rather than the board, I feel. But the boards do have their places, such as the lesson objectives. But if you want a certain instruction for a student, I'd just use the NPC because they're more personal and you obviously interact and talk with the person. And that is it for now. These are the key blocks. I think the most useful is the NPC as well as the portfolio for the pictures. So obviously just the camera, just to go back to that, just looks like that. You'd find it in your inventory and you literally just right click on the floor and that brings up the picture, and you just right click on that and it takes a picture of you. And then obviously you've got that there, and I can export this portfolio to my desktop. So I'll call it test as well. I'll save that, and then if I quickly just tab out of this, see what it looks like. So if I've got that, oh, it's a zip file. Yes, you'll need to extract that, and then you've got your portfolio pictures here. So my portfolio, and you can print that off and put it up in the classroom. So I reckon you need to obviously type in here on the Minecraft software into your portfolio what you want under there. So if not, it's just here. So you can type in what you want totally, then export it. On the next video, I'm going to show you to set up a start room for your students. So the room that they will, so I can set a spawn point. So once they log into the server, that is where they will start, rather than a random point on the map. So they will always start on that point. To which then if they're trapped in a room, and you can use the app called it's a Classroom app for Minecraft Education. So you can talk to your students as well as teleport them in and out of the world to different areas. So you could have some of these set up into a block, and they spawn at the start, and then you could teleport them into this area. And then that is where they stay then for the lesson, for them to build their world. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon.